to 𝗥𝗵𝗲 show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for always, being here with us, because we love to always impart knowledge to you. And thank you for always tuning in week in and week out to listen, to grow in life, in business, so that you truly can take off in the right way. We're almost like 4 months away from 2023, going to 2024. What are you looking for? That is the goal. That's the name of the game, is what are you looking forward to in terms of your goals? So Ria and I always want to share with you what we know, what we are doing, so that you can take off for 2024 in the right way possible. Ria, she talks about real estate. I talk about mindset. And together, her and I will bridge together what you need to succeed. So without further ado, I want to welcome everyone. My name is 𝗥𝗵𝗲.
My name is Ria.
And welcome to our show. Now, today, guys, I'm going to be leading the conversation. And today I want to talk about change your personal rules for success, okay? Change your personal rules for success. And what I like to call it is that if you are wanting to, so as I started out by saying that we are just 4 months away from 2024, okay, what are we doing right now? So let's take the example in a work situation, because most of us are at work. So, in your work, your success that you are truly wanting to look for is, how do you, first of all, it all starts with you, okay? You are the common denominator because, if you think about it, because a lot of people, when we talk about change and changing for the good, change always requires, you can never change the external. We can never change. We can never change from the external. I can't say that, oh, I want my life to look so good. Oh, I want my life to look so grand. No, we can never say that. You know what? Not to say that you can't. Actually, it's not that you should not say that, or it's not that you shouldn't be saying that, but it's not going to fix the problem. The question here, what I want to talk about, is changing your personal rules. And when you know, okay, what are the steps that you are taking? So number one, define. Okay, define the steps that you have taken. And this could be in your business. The steps, for example, that you might be taking in your business is that you are great at doing presentations. If your boss asked you today to talk to a group, the external group, not your internal, but your external, and you've never spoken before, anyone is going to be petrified. But you see, when we talk about the rules for success, the rules, what is your rules? What's my rules? That is going to change. That is going to change. So the rules that we want to look at, right, is taking the quantum leap. So if your boss asked you to do a presentation tomorrow to the external group, You've never met them. You don't know who these people are, but you are asked to do a presentation. Now that's going to petrify, and that's going to trip anyone. And you're going to say, "Oh my God, I don't think so. I haven't spoken before. I don't think I'm qualified to do this." But you see, if you are not qualified, look at it this way. If you are not qualified, your boss, your supervisor would not even ask you to go and speak. So that is actually a positive side. They see something in you, but it's always us that limits us to our success. That is what I'm saying. It's no good changing the external, saying, oh yeah, you know, I want the riches, or I want this and that. If you are not willing to fix you, because you have to start within. We all have to start within to fix our internal. It's the internal, because for most of us, we have been in the paradigm of, you know, these limiting beliefs, or I don't think I can do this. I don't think I'll be successful. I will never have success, blah, 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 blah. And when you are saying these paradigms to yourself every single day, what do you think is going to happen? Your rules for success now has changed, because the only way you can change is to change your internal programming. And when you begin to change your internal programming, and it takes time. For me, it took time. You know, I'm not here preaching saying, oh, it was so easy that, you know, no, I had to change my programming. I had to change and do a lot of internal work. And anytime you do any kind of work, you know what? It takes time. You know, Rome was not built in a day. We as human beings are looking for success. It does not happen in a day. But if you are willing to then now make a change in your life, as I said, for 2024, what are the goals that you have? So together with you is the goals that we want to achieve. And another factor that plays a big part is your mindset. Your rules for success, your personal rules for success, what are they? Do you write them down? Do you know what your goals are? So, you know, the way that I like to look at this whole chapter on changing your personal success is, are you taking those quantum leaps every single day? Do you take those leaps to believing in you? So at work, as I said, I gave you just a clear example about doing presentations. But what are the other things that you are doing that's going to accelerate you in your work today? So when you can start to see, okay, you know what, I am really pushing myself to the point that I am gaining success in my work. I love it. And when you can begin to love what you do, and you are now taking those actions because you've taken those quantum leaps every single day, you are going to see that things just absolutely just, you know, they do come about. Because you know what, when I look at quantum leap, is, you know, there are so many times that, you know, so many of us, we go through life and we never ever know what was the potential that we've had, that we could have had, right? We could have had if we took that chance, we took that bet on us. But most of us, we don't want to do that, and then we quit. We want to, but then we quit. So it's like, you know, your paradigm, that's, as I said many chapters ago, your paradigm, it is so powerful. It's almost like it is so powerful, because you know what, anytime we want to take those 10 steps forward, we are taking 20 steps back. This is what your paradigm is doing to us. It's taking you 20 steps back. But my question to you is, and my challenge to you today is, Are you willing to let your paradigms control you? Or are you going to take the bet on yourself? You're going to say, I am better than, you know, who I was yesterday. And then when you can begin to see this, that who you were yesterday is not who you are going to be tomorrow, because tomorrow you're going to be a different person, and the day after you're going to be a different person. And then in 2024, guess what? You are going to be a different person. So you know what? I'm just going to leave it right here, because I know that when it comes to your mindset, what we need to do, how we need to program, rewire ourselves, because, you know, quite so many times, you know, for most of us, for most of our lives, we have been in this way of thinking, you know, for a long time. So it's going to take a long time now to rewire.
I want to share with you that quantum leap that you mentioned earlier, Alka.
Yeah.
You know, taking
Right.
that quantum leap. Now, I remember one of this person, actually, he's young, and in order for him to take that quantum leap without any consequences, was what he did to take that quantum leap. He went by himself with a piece of paper and a pen. He went to this institution. It's an institution where, you know, geriatric elderly patients are. So he took time. He spent a couple of days in that geriatric hospital, okay? And he took his time to sit down and chat with the patients, with the people there, with the elderly people. And he interviewed each one of them. And he has this common question that, you know, made him quantum leap, you know, that quantum leap, right? So this question is this. So after talking to the elderly patients, he would ask them, if you had the time machine, what would you have done differently?
Right.
You have done differently when you were young. Now you're at your end stage of life, in your 80s, 90s. What would you do differently? And this, you know, the common answer that he took from that interview after being there for several days was that a lot of them would say, if I could have done differently, I would have taken that risk. I would have done it without fear of failure, without fear of the regret. So this elderly patients, you know, because they're at their end phase, the regret, the regret of not taking that quantum leap, right? So now how do we apply it to us so that we can take that quantum leap? So what the elderly said was not taking the quantum leap, and now they regret it. Right. So in my situation is, in order for me to not have any regret, is to take that quantum leap, whatever I put myself into.
Exactly. And you know what? And that's exactly what I stated, that, you know, if we never take the steps, we will never know what was our potential. We will never know, okay, you know, I could have done this, or I could have, you know, done whatever. But if you don't attempt to do it, if you don't attempt to take those actionable steps, you're never going to know. You're never going to know. And that is what you don't ever want to do, is when you are in the elderly stage that, you know, Ria just said, you know, you are now at the end stage of your life. And for most people, you know, they don't have the support around them. But what I'm trying to get at here is that, you know, when you in your 65, okay, that's your golden age. That's when you've retired. And this is the time actually for you to really enjoy life. But for most people who have not understood about finance, about money, they've not understood about money. And for most, they're bankrupt, right? They don't have the money. They don't, whether they're not being cared for by, you know, their peers, or, you know, society, or the family. But the point is, you can never, ever be at a point right now. You have to take the steps to improve yourself financially, to create the life that you want, because if you don't want to do that, you will always stay complacent. You will always stay in the place, and then you will regret saying, oh my God, you know, life has just gone by. And you're thinking, where has life gone, right? Life has gone by. What the heck was I doing? I wasted so much time on not improving on my mindset, my mental capacity. I wasted so much time not taking care of my physical health, anything. But you should never, ever have the regret. But you know what I do say is just go do it. Go do it, because failure is only a lesson to be learned. What did you do wrong? That does not mean quit. Because if you fail, but you tried and you didn't succeed, that is okay. That happens in business. You know, many of us, Ria, I, you know, we've got businesses, but do we say failure? Oh my God, but I failed. No. Do we say, oh, but you know, I should just quit? No, we don't. We keep pushing. Why do we keep pushing? We keep pushing because we know our potential. We know there's so much more that we can do. And I know there's so much more you can do. So why not do it? Why just give up? Why give up on the first battle that you've just stepped over and you said, oh my God, now I can't do it? But you can. It's your limiting beliefs that hold us back from not doing that certain task, or that taking these actions to, you know, speak or whatever. So my challenge to you today is to identify, where are those limiting beliefs? What happens when those paradigms come into your mind? What happens? What do you do? So I want you to have that self-awareness as to what are you doing? What happens to you? You know, physically, mentally. Just make a note, journal what happens. All right. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for each and every one of you for tuning in today. Ria and I, we, you know, so really appreciate each and every one of you who come back week